As you can tell, I'm a real professional about this kind of thing. But anyway, thank you very much for being here. And we have a couple of thank yous that I want to start with. The first and biggest one is for First Baptist Church for letting us rehearse here every week, hold most of our concerts here, and store all of our stuff. I would also like to thank our band board and several of our members who have designed our posters and programs. And this time I want to especially recognize Shirley Frazier, who did the posters for us. Another special thank you today goes to the Sycamore Springs Middle School Band in Dripping Springs and their band director, Jana Galloway, for loaning us the gong, which will be featured prominently in Carmina Burana. And Dan on our low reed section got that for us, arranged it. So thank you. Our concerts are live streamed on both our first Facebook page and YouTube, and that is thanks to Mark and Nathan and Jesse, technical wizards. This is the 32nd year that our band has been furnishing free concerts to our area of the Hill Country. Our members are volunteers and enjoy making music together. We have members of all ages and ability. We range in age from members in their 20s to people like me, who it's been a long time since we were in our 20s. But we come from many areas of the Hill Country, from Austin to New Braunfels and San Marcos to Blanco. And all of our efforts to furnish these free concerts are made possible by donations, both from organizations in the community, such as the Lions Club and the Civic Club, to people like you who support us and enjoy our music. And just like everything else today, music is becoming more and more expensive. On the back of the program, there is a form you can fill out and mail in a contribution. In addition, we accept PayPal and credit card donations on our website, and there is a QR code in the program for that. Of course, cash is always welcome. And we have baskets in the back that if you wish to donate today in cash, that would be fine. And if you feel that I'm begging for donations, that's exactly what I'm doing. But we have enjoyed a great deal of support from people in the community, and I want to thank you very much. During the holiday season, small groups from the band will be performing Christmas music at venues around Wimberley. And on January the 3rd of next year, I can't believe it's saying this next year, but on January the 3rd, we will begin rehearsals again for a concert in February. If you have played a band instrument in high school or college, we invite you to come and talk to us and join us. I would like to introduce Dr. Manuel Arambla, the Hill Country Community Band, and we begin all our concerts with the national anthem. So if you would stand, please, if you're able.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out in this rainy weather. I used to like the cold weather when I was younger. Not so much anymore. Um, so we're gonna get started. Well, I guess I should briefly explain how this concert came about. So I've been playing in community band since I was a teenager, and I was exposed to a lot of music. And thankfully, I had also had very supportive teachers. Um, who gifted me a lot of their music too in recordings. So I heard this specific arrangement of John Krantz of Carmina Burana from my high school band director, Mr. Daryl Anderson, and he gifted me a CD of the University of Illinois Symphonic Band with Dr. Harry Bijan doing this specific arrangement. And now I was aware of Carmina Burana as a teenager since before then because of that very famous movement in Carmina Burana, which you will be hearing, which is actually featured in the Arthurian movie, what is the name? Excalibur. Have you ever seen the movie Excalibur? And it's actually featured in there, but you'll hear it at the end of Carmina Burana. So how could I build a program about Carmina Burana? Carmina Burana is not an easy piece that you just surround other pieces with. So I thought, okay, so it's based on text, it's based on poems, so why not do other pieces that were also based on poems and medieval texts? So Carmina Burana is perhaps the most performed choral work of the last 100 years. It has a little bit of interesting history, which I'll briefly explain. These are based on medieval manuscripts that were actually discovered in 1803 in the convent. It's actually, it was a convent, religious convent in the city of Buren, which is in Germany. And that's really where the name comes from. What is Carmina Burana? Well, it's actually Latin. It's a Latin name. Carmina stands for songs, and Burana is the Latinized form of Buren. So really, it translates to the songs from Buren, Carmina Burana. And the texts were subsequently published in 1847. See, I'm remembering. 1847. But really, it was over 1,000 songs, over 1,000 manuscripts that were actually found, and they were published. And 90 years later, in 1937, the composer Carl Orff came across all these songs, all these manuscripts, which, like I said, numbered over 1,000. And in 3 years, the first performance was given in 1937. He actually set only 24 of those out of the hundreds. He only set 24 of those to music and text. And it was premiered in 1937, and it has since then become a very popular work. And like I said, perhaps what I would consider one of the top music scores of the last 100 years, along probably with, what is that famous Stravinsky piece? The Stravinsky piece, the very famous one. The Rite of Spring, yeah. Along with those two, I think are just very important works of the 20th century. So I really hope you enjoy our rendition of Carmina Burana. Before I forget this, I also want to give a very personal thanks to these young men and women. The last two programs have been packed with a lot of music. If you were in our last concert, we did Lincolnshire Posey, a lot of music, and then this one is a very difficult composition too. And I mean, they've both risen to my expectations and my standards. And I know perhaps I annoy them a little bit, but thank you so much for your efforts, and I think you're gonna greatly enjoy this concert. So this is a 25-minute piece, all right? So there's no breaks in between. That's why there's only 3 pieces on the program. Here's Carmina Burana. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna give a small break to the players, maybe like a 2-minute break. So the next piece is titled O Magnum Mysterium, and it's also based on a medieval text. And I think you should have this text along with the next one in your program. So this is supposed to depict the nativity scene of Jesus being born. And it's seen from a third-person perspective, but it's also seen from the perspective of the animals, the cows, the sheep, the goats, that are witnessing this mysterious birth, that are witnessing this mysterious birth of this child who's in the stable. He's in a manger. And this is what this text is depicting. Now, there is some dissonance in the music. Dissonance, I mean by clashing chords. You know, chords that clash against each other, notes that clash against each other. And that is supposed to depict a momentary sorrowness in Mary's heart, knowing that this child that she has just brought into this world is going to be killed one day. He's going to give up his life for the sake of humanity. And you're going to hear that in the saxophones. But overall, yes, it is a slow piece, but there is just so much tenderness and so much happiness in this scene, which is just happening of the birth of Jesus, of the birth of the Savior. So this is what this text is about. Although it is a medieval text, this specific composition was written by Morton Lauritsen in 1994, and it was originally a choral piece. Now, I would encourage you to listen to the choral piece because it is just beautiful. It is such a beautiful piece, and it really has become one of the most performed choral pieces of the last 25 years or so. And this transcription was done by H. Robert Reynolds, who I actually had the pleasure of watching conduct when I lived in Los Angeles at the University of Southern California. So this is his arrangement of O Magnum Mysterium. Thank you. Now we've come to the final piece of the concert. Um, um, the final piece is titled "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night," and this is also a very famous poem from the 20th century. And I hope you've had a chance to read it on what the context of it is. But the author wrote this knowing upon that his father was about to die. Now, I really like this poem because it really is an affirmation of life. Constantly, the author says that upon the time of our death, we must rage against the dying of the light. So this is really about, an affirmation for life, how despite of all the hardships and how difficult life can be, the still option is still better to be alive. Even though sometimes life can be challenging and difficult, life is so beautiful and it's worth living. So this piece was was composed by Elia Del Borgo, who just died a few years ago, but he is very, very well known in the band world. Mostly, he also wrote string and choir pieces, but he's mostly known for doing educational pieces. Now, I'm sure most of the people up here, and myself included, we wouldn't have gone through public school music without playing at least one or several pieces by Elia Del Borgo. It is just not public music education without Mr. Del Borgo's music. Even to this day, as an educator, I still program Mr. Del Borgo's music, and the kids just love it. So I really hope you enjoy our rendition of Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night. Please try to envision all those things that the poem says and how it's really programmatic in the music, how it really connects to what the music is saying. The rage, the dying of the light, and the last moments, and then we take our own breaths, and as life is slipping away. I want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you come see us around town during the holiday Christmas performances. I look forward to seeing a lot of you. And if you like what you heard today, just like Pat said, please feel free to give us your money. All right, thank you so much. Here, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Do not go gentle into that good night. Thank